Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss the topic of probability. Before we take an example, let us first understand the basic concept and definition of probability. Probability is nothing but chance of occurrence of an event, and can be calculated as number of ways in which the event can happen divided by total number of possible outcomes. Let us now take an example based on this concept. An urn contains 5 red, 4 blue, 3 yellow and 2 white marbles. If 2 marbles are picked at random, what is the probability that both are red? As given in the question, there are 5 red, 4 blue, 3 yellow and 2 white marbles. So the total comes out to be 14 marbles. Out of these 14 marbles, we are supposed to select 2 marbles such that both are red. So the probability that both the marbles are red is nothing but number of ways in which we can select the red marbles. That is, out of 5 red, we are supposed to select 2, which can be done in 5C2 ways, divided by total number of outcomes. Now total number of outcomes here is nothing but selecting 2 out of total 14 marbles, which can be done in 14C2 ways. By simplifying this, we get the answer as 10 by 91. So the probability that both the marbles are red is 10 by 91. So friends, as we have seen, we have discussed the basic definition and an example related to the topic of probability. See you in the next session with some more examples from the same topic. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss another example from the topic of probability, which is very common in bank exams. Let us take an example. A bag contains 3 green, 5 black and 4 red balls. If 3 balls are picked at random, what is the probability that there is at least 1 black ball? That means we are supposed to select 3 balls such that we get minimum 1 black ball. These type of questions can be solved by using the following concept. Probability that we get at least 1 ball of a particular color X can be taken as 1 minus probability that we get no ball of the color X. As given in the question, we need to find out the probability that we get at least 1 ball of black color. So that is nothing but 1 minus probability that there is no ball of black color. We know that there are 3 green, 5 black and 4 red balls. That is a total of 12 balls, out of which we are supposed to select 3 balls. So probability that we get at least 1 black ball is 1 minus probability of no black ball. This will be equal to 1 minus probability of no black ball is nothing but selecting 3 balls such that there is no black ball. That is, selecting 3 balls out of 3 plus 4, 7 balls, which can be done in 7C3 ways, divided by total number of ways in which 3 balls can be selected. And this can be done in 12C3 ways. So by solving this, we get the answer as 37 by 44. So friends, as we have seen, this is how we can solve questions related to selecting at least 1 ball of a particular color by using the given concept. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss another commonly asked question from the topic of probability. Let us take an example. A bag contains 4 red and 5 blue caps. If 4 caps are picked at random, what is the probability that 3 are red and 1 is blue, or 1 is red and 3 are blue? So here we need to select 4 caps. There are 2 possible cases. Either 3 are red and 1 is blue, or 1 is red and 3 are blue. Now from the question we know that there are 4 red and 5 blue caps. That means a total of 9 caps. Out of these 9 caps, we have to select 4 caps such that 3 are red and 1 is blue, or 1 is red and 3 are blue. Remember, whenever the word or is used in case of probability, it means there are 2 different cases which are to be added. So I can say that the total probability will be probability of selecting 3 red and 1 blue ball plus probability of selecting 1 red and 3 blue balls. So by using the basic concept, I know that selecting 3 red balls out of 4 balls can be done in 4C3 ways, and selecting 1 blue ball out of 5 can be done in 5C1 ways, divided by the total number of ways of selecting 4 balls out of 9 is 9C4. So this gives the probability of 3 red plus 1 blue ball. Similarly, 1 red ball out of 4 balls can be selected in 4C1 ways, and 3 blue balls out of 5 balls can be selected in 5C3 ways, divided by the total number of ways of selecting 4 balls out of 9 is 9C4. So the second part gives the total probability of selecting 1 red and 3 blue balls. By solving this, we get the answer as 10 by 21. So friends, as you have seen from this question, whenever there are 2 different cases in questions related to probability, the probability of both the cases can be calculated and added to get the final answer. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. Today in this session, we are going to discuss a question based on ratio and proportions concept. Let us take an example. In the given question, ages of Sam and Sudha are in the ratio of 7:3. And after 6 years, the ratio of their ages will be 5:3. Now we need to find the difference in their ages at present. Now, assume the ages of Sam and Sudha as 7x and 3x respectively. After 6 years, ratio of their ages will become 7x plus 6 and 3x plus 6. But as per the given question, the ratio of 7x plus 6 is to 3x plus 6 is equal to 5:3. Now let us solve this. That is 7x plus 6 divided by 3x plus 6 is equal to 5/3, which means 21x plus 18 is equal to 15x plus 30. That is 6x is equal to 12. So x is equal to 2. The present ages of Sam and Sudha are 7 into 2 and 3 into 2. So 14 and 6. So the difference of their ages is 14 minus 6, which is equal to 8. So the difference between their ages is 8 years. Okay friends, now you have seen using the concept of ratio and proportions how easily we can solve the questions on ages. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss the topic of number series. Number series is generally a 5 marks question in the bank exams where we are supposed to find out a missing number or a wrong number based on the given logic. Let's take some examples. Some of the very basic type of number series are as shown. The first example here is series of even numbers. The second one is series of odd numbers. Third one, as we can see, is a series which has got all the multiples of 6. The fourth one is series of squares starting from 1. And the last one is series of cubes again starting from 1. Let's now take another example as shown. The series here is 3, 9, 15, 21, 27, 33. Now we need to understand what is the logic behind this series. Here we can see 3 plus 6 gives the next number 9. Again 9 plus 6 gives the next number 15 and so on. That is, the logic behind this series is 6 is added to each of the numbers to get the next number. So as we can see, this is nothing but an arithmetic series where a particular number is added to the given number to get the next number. Another example is as shown. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and so on. Now let us try to understand the logic behind this series. As seen here, the first number 2 into 2 gives us the second number 4. Again 4 into 2 gives the third number 8 and so on. That is, each number here is multiplied with 2 to get the next number. So this is nothing but a geometric series. So friends, as you have seen in this session, we have taken some of the very basic examples of number series, which includes arithmetic series and geometric series. See you in the next session with more from this topic. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss useful techniques for finding square roots and cube roots. Let us take some examples. Before taking up the question, let us have a look at the pattern of last digit for the squares from 1 to 10. That is, last digits of squares generally end in the cycles of 1, 4, then 9, then 6, 5, 6, 9, 4, 1 and 0. So this cycle is going to be repeated. Suppose we need to find the square root of 3249. If you remember the table, when a number ends with 9, the square root should end with 3 or 7. So answer should end with 3 or 7. And after this, to find the other digit, you cancel the last two digits. We are left out with 32. Now you need to find the highest square within 32. That is nothing but 5 square. So the other digit should be 5. So answer should be 53 or 57. But if you see, it's always easy to find the squares of the numbers which end with 5. So now we'll try to find 55 square. The rule is, first you need to write 25, and the digit in the tens place and its next number, that is 5 into 6, so it is 3025. So 55 square itself is 3025, so the answer is 57. So this is how we can tell easily the square roots of 4-digit numbers or 5-digit numbers. Now let us try to find cube root of 8,04,357. To answer this question, we need to understand the pattern of last digits for the cubes. If you see the table, again cubes are following a pattern when it comes to last digits. Now come to the question. The first step to answer the cube roots question is, first you need to identify the last digit. As the number is ending with 7, the answer should end with 3. Second step is cancel the last 3 digits. Now we are left out with 804. The highest cube less than 804 is 9 cube. So the other digit should be 9. So the cube root for 8,04,357 is 93. Okay friends, now you have learned the technique of finding the square roots and cube roots. The properties of the numbers are very useful in finding the square roots and cube roots. See you in the next session with more techniques. Thank you.
Hello friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. Finding out squares is another important area where students generally waste a lot of time by doing a lot of paperwork. But then if you can follow a few simple steps, finding out squares will become very easy and can be done within a few seconds. So let us take some examples. To find out squares of numbers, there are 2 rules which you need to remember. The rule 1 is remember the squares up to 25. And the rule 2 is always use a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square formula to find out the squares. And there are certain tips which we need to remember for finding the squares. For example, to find out squares from 26 to 75, always use a as 50 in a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square. From 76 to 125, use a as 100, and from 126 to 175, take a as 150. And so on. Let us now take an example. Let us find out 63 squares by using the given rules. Now as already mentioned in the rule 2, you have to use the formula of a plus b whole square, and for numbers ranging from 26 to 75, a should be taken as 50. So 63 can be taken as 50 plus 13 whole square. Now by expanding it using the basic formula, we get it as 50 square plus 2 into 50 into 13 plus 13 square, which is 2500 plus 1300 plus 169. The advantage of using this method is always the first term is 2500 as we take a equals to 50, and the second term 2ab will be 1300 as b is equal to 13, and the third term is 13 square. So when you sum it up, the answer will be equal to 3969. So this is how you can save a lot of time and find out squares very easily. Practice well on the same. See you in the next session with some more ideas. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall look at another commonly asked question from the topic of profit and loss in bank exams, which can be solved very easily by means of a simple shortcut formula. Let us look at the question first. A person sold two watches for rupees 1200 each, making a profit of 20% on one of the watches and a loss of 20% on the other. What is his overall profit or loss in this transaction? The shortcut formula to be used is as follows. Whenever two articles are sold at the same price with X% profit on one and the same X% loss on the other, then such a transaction will always result in a loss, which can be taken as X square by 100%. So as given in the question, the profit and loss by selling the two watches is equal to 20% each, which can be taken as X as in the shortcut formula. Therefore, the overall loss by selling these two watches will be equal to X square, which is nothing but 20 square by 100. Upon solving, we get this as 4%. So as you have seen, the given question can be solved by using a simple shortcut formula. So avoid using the lengthy procedure and use this formula to get the answer in a few seconds. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. Today in this session, we are going to cover ratio and proportions topic. This has application in various topics like solving the problems of ages, partnerships, time and work, and time and distance. Let us take an example. In the given question, a sum of money is divided among four friends A, B, C, D in the ratio of 5:8:9:11. And the share of B is rupees 2400 more than the share of A. Now we need to find the total amount of money A and C get together. Before solving this question, let us first understand what is the ratio. Ratio is comparison of like terms in its simplest form. For example, X is to Y is equal to 5:4 means if the total parts are 9 parts, 5 parts should belong to X, 4 parts should belong to Y. Now coming back to the question, B is getting rupees 2400 more than the share of A. But if you see it in terms of parts, actually B is getting 3 parts more because A and B are in the ratio of 5:8. So A is getting 5 parts, B is getting 8 parts, that is B is getting 3 parts more, which means 3 parts is equal to 2400. In the question, A and C together are getting 5 parts and 9 parts together. That means total 14 parts they are getting. So 14 parts is equal to how much is the question? Which should be equal to 14 by 3 into 2400, that is rupees 11,200 rupees. So A and C together are getting 11,200 rupees. Okay friends, now you might have realized that understanding the definition of ratios and proportions can make things simpler for us while solving the problems. See you in the next session with more. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss some more examples from the topic of number series. Let us look at the first one. The given series is 4000, 2400, 1440, 864 and 518.4, and we are supposed to understand the logic behind this series. If you can see here, the numbers are gradually decreasing from starting till end. The logic is as shown. The first number 4000 when multiplied by 0.6 gives the second number 2400. And when 2400 is again multiplied by 0.6, we get the third number 1440 and so on. That means here each number is multiplied by the constant 0.6 to get the next number. So friends, whenever you find that the numbers in a particular series are decreasing gradually, try to look at some constant which upon multiplication with the number can give you the next number. Let us now take another example. The given series is 7, 8, 18, 57, 232. If we observe properly, the numbers here are increasing, but the increase is not gradual. Let us understand what can be the logic behind such a series. Here, the first number 7, when multiplied with 1, gives us 7 plus 1 will give us the next number 8. Then again, 8 into 2 plus 2, that is nothing but 8 into 2, 16 plus 2 gives us the third number 18. Similarly, the third number 18 into 3 gives us 54 plus 3 gives the number 57. And 57 into 4 plus 4 gives us the last number 232. So we can say that the logic behind this series is into 1 plus 1, into 2 plus 2, into 3 plus 3, into 4 plus 4 and so on. This is a very commonly asked question from number series in bank exams. So friends, in this session we have seen one of the most popular logic in number series which regularly comes in bank exams. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss some more examples from the topic of number series. Let us look at the first one. The given series is 6, 7, 11, 20, 36, 61 and so on. Let us look at what the logic can be behind this series. 6 plus 1 gives the number 7. 7 plus 4 gives the number 11. Now 4 here is nothing but 2 square. Similarly, 11 plus 9 gives 20. 9 is nothing but 3 square. 20 plus 16 gives 36. That is nothing but 4 square and so on. So if you can see here, we are adding up squares starting from 1 to the given numbers to get the next number. Therefore, what we understand from this is the differences of the given numbers are in a particular fashion. That is nothing but squares in this case. Let us take one more example based on the same idea. The series is 9, 36, 100, 225, 441. Again, if we try to understand the logic, we find that 9 plus 27, that is nothing but 3 cube, gives us the number 36. Again 36 plus 64, that is nothing but 4 cube, gives the number 100. And next 100 plus 125, which is nothing but 5 cube, gives the number 225. And the last one here, 225 plus 6 cube, gives the number 441. So again, if you see, the differences between any two consecutive numbers here are in a particular fashion. That is nothing but cubes of numbers starting from 3. So friends, try to understand that in some cases, the numbers given in the series may not follow a particular logic, but their differences may follow a logic. which is as shown. We have already seen the first two, that is nothing but squares and cubes of numbers. Some other logic of this type can be plus 3, plus 6, plus 9, plus 12 and so on. That is nothing but the differences between two numbers are all the multiples of 3 or maybe the multiples of 4, 5 and so on. So friends, as we have seen here, sometimes the differences between the numbers of the given series may follow a particular logic. Practice more on these type of questions to understand the logic quickly. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss the topic of set theory. But before we move on to a question, let us discuss the concept first. Questions from set theory can be solved by using the following two formulae. The first one is total equals to A plus B minus both A and B plus none. And the second formula is total equals to only A plus only B plus both A and B plus none. Here A and B are nothing but the two different categories specified in the question. So depending on the question, we can either use the first formula or second formula to get the answer. If you can see here, only is the keyword to decide which formula is to be used for solving the question. For example, if the word only is specified in the question, we can go for the second formula, otherwise the first one. Let us now take a question based on this concept. In a class of 80 students, 60 students passed in English, 45 students passed in Hindi, and 15 students failed in both the subjects. So how many students passed in both the subjects? As you can see here, the two categories A and B are nothing but the subject English and subject Hindi. And also in the question, the word only is not specified. That means we must use the first formula to get the answer. So here A is nothing but the number of students passed in English, which is 60. B is number of students passed in Hindi, which is 45. Total number of students given is 80. And none is nothing but students who have failed in both the subjects, which is given as 15. And the formula to be used is total equals to A plus B minus both A and B plus none. So by substituting the given values, we get total 80 equals to number of students passed in English, which is 60, plus number of students passed in Hindi, 45, minus students passed in both the subjects, let us take it as X, plus students who have passed in none of the subjects, which is 15. By solving this, we get X equals to 40. Therefore, we can say that number of students who have passed in both the subjects are 40. So friends, as you have seen, this is how we can solve the questions related to set theory by using the given formula. But make sure that you decide which formula is to be used based on the keyword only. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss an unconventional method of solving certain questions. There are some questions which can be solved by substitution method. That is, we substitute the values from the options in the question to find out the correct answer. Let's take an example. The number formed by swapping the digits of a two-digit number is more than the original number by 45. If the sum of the digits is 11, what is the original number? And the options given are 29, 47, 38 and 48. As we can see from the question, there are two conditions. Condition 1 is that the number formed by swapping the digits is more than the original number by 45, and the second condition is sum of the digits is 11. So we try to find out which option satisfies both the conditions. If you look at sum of the digits, option 1, 2 plus 9 is 11, option 2, 4 plus 7 is 11, and option 3, 3 plus 8 is also 11. But when it comes to option 4, 48, 4 plus 8 is 12. That means the sum of the digits is not equal to 11. So we can say that option 4 cannot be the answer. As we know that reverse number minus original number should be 45. If you look at option 1, 29, the reverse is 92 minus the original number 29 gives 63, which is not equal to 45. So I can say that option 1 is not the answer. Now if we apply the same condition to option 2, 47, the reverse number is 74 minus original number 47 gives us 27, which is again not equal to 45. Therefore, even second option cannot be the answer. So it is obvious that the left out option, that is 38, should be the correct answer. If we try to verify, reverse of 38, that is 83, minus the original number 38 is equal to 45, which is as given in the question. Therefore, 38 is the correct answer. So friends, as you have seen from this example, the correct answer can be obtained simply by substituting the options back in the question. So try to use it wherever applicable and get the answers quickly. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss a very common question from the topic of time and distance, which can be solved very easily by using the proportionality between time and distance rather than using the original formula. Let us look at the question first. A train of length 200 meter crosses a pole in 10 seconds. How much time will it take to cross a platform of length 400 meter at the same speed? We all know that speed is equal to distance by time, but at constant speed we can say that time is proportional to distance, which means time taken in the first case by time taken in second case can be taken as distance travelled in the first case by the distance travelled in the second case. Now we shall use this proportionality in solving the given question. Time taken to cross the platform by time taken to cross the pole can be taken as distance travelled to cross the platform, which is nothing but length of the train plus length of the platform divided by distance travelled while crossing the pole is only the length of the train, which means time taken to cross the platform by time taken to cross the pole is 10 seconds can be equated to 200, which is the length of the train, plus 400, the length of the platform, divided by length of the train, which is 200. Upon solving, we get that time taken to cross the platform will be equal to 30 seconds. So as you have seen in this question, we can solve it simply by using the proportionality between time and distance. So try to avoid using the lengthy formula and get the answer using this concept. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss a question based on average speed from the topic of time and distance. Generally, the questions from average speed can be solved by using a simple shortcut formula provided the conditions are satisfied. Let us take an example first. A person travels from city A to city B at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour and returns back to city A at the speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Find his average speed during the entire journey. The shortcut formula to be applied is as follows. If a person travels two equal distances at speeds s1 and s2, then his average speed for the total distance travelled will be equal to 2s1 s2 divided by s1 plus s2. So let us use this formula in solving the given question. So by using the shortcut formula, we can say that average speed will be equal to 2 into s1, which is 40 kilometers per hour, into s2, which is 60 kilometers per hour, divided by s1 plus s2, which will be equal to 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 100. Upon solving this, we get it as 48 kilometers per hour. So we can say that average speed of the person is 48 kilometers per hour during the entire journey. Sometimes a person can travel a particular distance in two equal time intervals. In such case, the average speed can be calculated by another shortcut formula which goes as follows. If a person travels a certain distance in two equal time intervals t1 and t2 at the speeds s1 and s2, then his average speed will be equal to s1 plus s2 by 2, which is the arithmetic mean of the two speeds. So friends, as you have seen, this is how we can solve questions related to average speed by using various shortcut formulae. But make sure that the conditions related to the shortcut formula are satisfied before you apply it. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss a question from the topic of boats and streams, which is a part of time and distance. Before we move on to a question, let us first understand a concept. If the downstream speed, that is, speed along with the stream of a boat is u meters per second, and the upstream speed, that is, the speed against the stream, is v meters per second, then the speed of the boat in still water can be taken as u plus v by 2, whereas the speed of the stream can be taken as u minus v by 2. Let us see how can this concept be useful in solving the question. The question says a boat can travel upstream at the rate of 2 kilometers per hour and downstream at the rate of 3 kilometers per hour. How long will it take for the boat to travel a distance of 10 kilometers in still water? As we know that speed of the boat in still water can be taken as the downstream speed u plus upstream speed v divided by 2, which is equal to 3 downstream speed plus 2 the upstream speed divided by 2, which comes out to be 2.5 kilometers per hour, which is the speed of the boat in still water. Now to travel a distance of 10 kilometers, the time taken can be taken as distance to be travelled by speed in still water, which is 10 kilometers divided by 2.5 kilometers per hour, which is equal to 4 hours. So we can say that the time taken by the boat to travel 10 kilometers in still water will be 4 hours. So friends, this is how we can solve some questions from boats and streams related to upstream and downstream speeds by using the given formula. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss a question from the topic of time and work. Most of the questions from time and work can be solved by using the men into days concept. Let us understand the concept first. Work can always be measured as a product of number of men working on it and the number of days for which they work. That is, work is always equal to men into days. Let us now see a question based on this concept. A work is started by 15 men, but after 5 days, 5 more men join them to finish the work in next 10 days. How many men should have started the work to finish it in 11 days? So from the given concept, we can understand that the work done in first 5 days plus the work done in the next 10 days should be equal to the total work which can be done in 11 days. So the work done in first 5 days can be taken as number of men 15 into the number of days for which they work, which is 5, plus the work done in next 10 days is number of men 15 plus as 5 more men join them, we can take it as 15 plus 5 into number of days is 10. This should be equal to the total number of men required m into number of days for which they work is 11. So from this, I can say that the number of men will be equal to 275 divided by 11. Upon solving, we get this as 25. So the number of men required to finish the work in 11 days is 25. So friends, this is how we can use the concept of men into days for solving questions related to time and work. So work more on it to get the answers in less time. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss another question from time and work which is very common in bank exams. But before solving the question, let us understand the concept first. The work done is always proportional to number of persons doing the work into number of days for which they work into the number of hours per day for which they work. By using this proportionality, we can say that whenever the work done is same in two cases, then P1 D1 H1 should be equal to P2 D2 H2, where P1 and P2 are the number of persons, D1 and D2 are the number of days, and H1 and H2 are the number of hours per day respectively in the two cases. Let us now use this concept in solving the given question. 18 men can do a piece of work in 12 days working 6 hours per day. So how many men are required to do the same work in 4 days working 9 hours per day? As you can see in the given question, the work done in the second case is same as the work done in the first case. As the work done is same in both the cases, we can say that number of men working in the first case, which is 18, into the number of days for which they work, 12, into the number of hours per day for which they work, 6, should be equal to the number of men required in the second case into 4 days for which they work into 9 hours per day. So by solving this equation, we can say that 4 into 1 and 4 into 3, 9 1 and 9 into 2. Therefore, the number of men required in the second case will be equal to 36. So friends, as you have seen, this is how we can use this given concept to solve questions from the topic of time and work. So practice well on this. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. Today in this session, we are going to discuss the concepts related to allegations and mixtures. This is one of the topics from where you find questions in all aptitude exams. Let us take an example. The given question is, in what ratio should two qualities of wheat costing rupees 35 per kg and rupees 27 per kg respectively be mixed to form a mixture costing rupees 30 per kg? The formula is quantity of the cheaper item divided by quantity of the dearer item. Here, dearer in the sense the costlier one should be equal to dearer item cost minus mixture cost divided by mixture cost minus cheaper items cost. Let us apply this formula for the given question. So, quantity of the cheaper wheat divided by the quantity of dearer wheat should be equal to dearer wheat cost, that is 35 rupees, minus mixture cost 30 rupees divided by mixture cost 30 rupees minus cheaper cost 27 rupees, which is equal to nothing but 5:3. This question can be solved using the allegation rule by writing cheaper cost on one side and dearer cost on the other side, and write the mixture cost in the middle. Now take the cross differences, that is 27 and 30 difference, which is 3, and the difference between 35 and 30, that is 5. This is the ratio in which we need to add the two qualities of wheat. Okay friends, now you have seen remembering the formulae certain times make things easier for us in solving the problems. So along with understanding the concepts, better you remember the formulae. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a question based on approximations, where we are supposed to calculate an approximate answer without doing the exact calculation. Let us take an example. Find the approximate value of 69.985 into 17.0001 divided by 14.005. Now, as we are supposed to calculate the approximate value, we can take 69.985 as 70 into 17.0001 can be approximately taken as 17 divided by, and 14.005 can be approximately taken as 14. And now by solving this equation, we can say that 14 into 1 is 14 and 14 into 5 is 70. So the equation now becomes 5 into 17 divided by 1, which is nothing but 5 into 17, which is equal to 85. So the answer here is 85. So friends, as you have seen from this example, this is how we can solve questions based on approximate calculations. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. Today in this session, we are going to cover questions related to averages, and we'll try to solve these questions using the basic definition of the averages. Let us solve an example. Now in the given question, average weight of 20 boys is 60 kg, but one student's weight was taken wrong as 45 kg instead of 65 kg. Now we need to find the actual average weight of the group. We can solve this question by simply using the following concept. When one out of a group of n values increases or decreases by d, the average should also increase or decrease by d by n. Now coming to the question, we know that actual weight of the student is 65 kgs, but we noted it as 45 kgs, which means sum of the weights is supposed to increase by 20 kgs because 65 minus 45. So the actual average weight should increase by 20 by 20. So average weight of the group becomes 60 plus 20 by 20, that is 61. So average weight of the group is 61 kgs. Okay friends, now you have seen understanding the basic definitions can make things easier for us while solving the questions. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a question from data interpretation. In data interpretation, some data is given in the form of a pie chart or bar diagram or a table or line graph followed by 5 questions. Questions here are asked mainly from 3 areas, that is averages, ratios and percentages. One very commonly asked question from percentages in data interpretation is of the given model, that is A is what percent of B. For this question, the answer can be obtained as A by B into 100. Let's take a question based on this concept. The given table shows runs scored by a particular batsman from 2009 to 2012. That is, in 2009, the batsman scored a total of 1260 runs. In 2010, his score was 900 and so on in 2011 and 2012. And the question is, runs made in the year 2010 is approximately what percent of that in the year 2012? Now this question is based on the concept of A is what percent of B. Here A is nothing but runs made in 2010 and B is the runs made in 2012. Now from the table we know that the runs made in the year 2010 is 900 and the runs made in 2012 is 1180. As we are supposed to calculate an approximate answer, let us approximately take 1180 as 1200. Now the answer for this question can be taken as 900 divided by 1200 into 100. That is nothing but A by B into 100. By solving this, we get 3 by 4 into 100, which is equal to 75%. Therefore, we can say that the runs made in 2010 is 75% of that in 2012. So friends, as you have seen here, a question from DI can be solved very easily if you know the basic concept. So practice on the commonly asked models from DI so that your chances of scoring high are improved. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to take another commonly asked question from the topic of data interpretation based on bar diagrams. Let us look at the question. The following bar graph shows sales of a particular company in hundreds over 4 quarters as shown. That means the sales in quarter 1 was 500. The sales in quarter 2 is 200, in quarter 3 is 400, and in the last quarter is 300. Let us now take a question based on this. In which quarter did the company show maximum percentage change with respect to the previous quarter? This question can be answered simply by looking at the bar graph without doing any calculation. As we are supposed to find out the percentage change with respect to the previous quarter, answer cannot be quarter 1 as the data for the previous quarter is not known to us. If you look at the increase from quarter 2 to quarter 3, the sales have doubled. That is from 200 cars in quarter 2 to 400 in quarter 3. That means this shows a 100% increase. The decrease from quarter 1 to quarter 2 is less than 100% because for a 100% decrease the value should become 0, but in quarter 2 the value is not 0, it is equal to 2. Similarly, from quarter 3 to quarter 4 the sales have decreased from 400 to 300. Even this will be less than 100% change. Why? Because if this is to be 100% decrease, the value in quarter 4 should become 0, whereas the value here is 3. So if you look at the 3% changes, in quarter 2 the change is less than 100%, in quarter 3 the change is equal to 100%, and in quarter 4 the change is again less than 100%. So the maximum change can be seen in quarter 3. Therefore, our answer is quarter 3. So friends, as you have seen from this example, sometimes it is possible to find out the maximum percentage change or minimum percentage change without doing any calculation, simply by observing the graph. So try to work smartly and avoid paperwork. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss another example from the topic of data sufficiency. Let us look at that. The question is, what is the rate of interest? And the given statements are, statement 1, an amount of rupees 10,000 is invested for a period of 3 years. Statement 2, the total compound interest earned is rupees 3,310. We know that compound interest can be calculated with the following formula, where P is the principal, R is the rate of interest, and T is the time period. In the given question, we are supposed to find out the rate of interest. From the formula, we can see that to calculate rate of interest, we need 3 things, that is compound interest, principal, and time. If we see the given statements, from statement 1, we know that the principal is 10,000 and it is invested for 3 years. That is nothing but the time period is 3 years. So principal and time are given in statement 1, but compound interest is not given. That means answer cannot be determined with the help of statement 1 alone. If you look at statement 2, the total compound interest earned is rupees 3,310. Here the compound interest is known to us, but again the principal and time period are not given. That means answer cannot be determined even with the help of statement 2 alone. As 1 and 2 alone are not sufficient, let us now look at the combination of both the statements and see whether we can get the answers or not. From statement 1, we know the principal and time period, and from statement 2, we know the compound interest. By using all these three values, we can calculate the rate of interest. Thus, we can say that both the statements together are required to answer the question. So the answer here will be option 3. So friends, as you have seen in this session, in case of data sufficiency, we are only supposed to decide whether the given statements are sufficient to answer the question or not. So don't waste your time in doing the calculation and finding out the exact answer. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss a simplification question which can be solved based on the method of elimination. Let us see the question. The question is 56 square plus 44 square divided by question mark should be equal to 16. And we are supposed to find out what comes in place of the question mark. By taking this question mark to the other side, we get 56 square plus 44 square equals to 16 into question mark. Let us try to solve this question by working on the units places. When a number ends with 6, its square also ends with 6. Therefore, we can say that 56 square ends with 6. Similarly, when a number ends with 4, its square also ends with 6. So we can say that 44 square also ends with 6. As both the numbers ends with 6, we can say that sum of these two numbers will be ending in 2, as 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. So 2 comes in the units place and 1 will be carried forward. Therefore, the left hand side part ends with 2. Now if you look at the right hand side part, one of the numbers is 16, which ends with 6. Now we are supposed to find out the other number such that the product of these two numbers ends in 2, as the left hand side part ends with 2. If you look at option 1, it ends with 9, and 6 into 9 ends in 4. So option 1 cannot be the answer. When we go for option 2, which ends with 5, again 6 into 5 ends with 0. So option 2 also cannot be the answer. Option 3 ends with 3. So 6 into 3 ends with 8. Therefore, option 3 also cannot be the answer. And when we look at option 4, that ends with 7, 7 into 6 ends with 2, which is equal to the units place of the left hand side part. Therefore, option 4 is the correct answer. So friends, as we have seen from this example, questions based on simplifications can be solved very easily by simply working out on the units place and eliminating the wrong options. So try to practice well on this and get your answers easily. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. Today in this session, we are going to discuss useful techniques for addition of mixed fractions. Let us take an example. So the given question is 1 1 by 8 minus 1 2 by 7 plus 3 3 by 5. When we look at this question, instinctively we try to solve this question by converting them into mixed fractions. But we can redesign this question and solve it in a much simpler way. This question can be solved in a much easier way by separating out the integer parts and the fractional part of all the given values. That is, 1 by 8 can be written as 1 plus 1 by 8. Similarly, the other numbers. So now you try to solve this question by adding the integer parts and the fractional parts. When you add the integer parts, the resultant is 1 minus 1 plus 3, that is 3. And coming to the fractional parts, the LCM of 8, 7 and 5 is 280. Now 8 goes 35 times, so 35 into 1, that is 35. Next 7 goes 40 times, so minus 40 into 2, that is minus 80. And 5 goes 56 times, so 56 into 3, that is 168. Now the resultant is 3 plus 123 divided by 280. Okay friends, now you might have realized that the problems which look difficult can be solved using very simple methods. See you in the next session with more techniques. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, let us discuss a very basic question of calculating compound interest for a period of 2 years at varying rates of interest. Let us look at an example. A person borrowed an amount of rupees 20,000 at the rate of 10% per annum for first year and 30% per annum for second year. Find the compound interest at the end of 2 years. Usually, students try to solve this question by using the formula for compound interest, which takes about 60 seconds. But if we can use the effective percentage concept, the same question can be solved in 30 seconds or maybe less. So for any given two percentages A and B, the effective percentage can be calculated as A plus B plus AB by 100. Now in the given question, the rate of interest for the first year is 10. So let us take it as A equals to 10% and the rate of interest for the second year is 30. So let's take B equals to 30. So by using the effective percentage formula, I can say that the overall rate of interest is 10 plus 30 plus 10 into 30 by 100. Which comes out to be 43%. Therefore, the compound interest can be calculated as 43% of the principal, which is nothing but 20,000. So upon calculation, you get this as 8,600. So as you have seen, this is how a question on varying rates of interest can be solved very easily by using the effective percentage formula. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, let us discuss another commonly asked question from the topic of interest. In this question, we are supposed to calculate the compound interest for a given principal, time and rate of interest, but the interest is being compounded quarterly, half yearly and so on. Let us look at the question first. Find the compound interest on an amount of rupees 20,000 at 20% per annum for a period of 1 year. Interest being compounded half yearly. So to solve questions based on interest being compounded half yearly, quarterly and so on, you can use the following table. For a given principal, time and rate of interest, if it is a yearly calculation, we need to take up the same values P, T and R. But if it is a half yearly calculation, the principal remains same, time should be taken as 2T and rate of interest becomes R by 2. Similarly, for a quarterly calculation, again the principal remains same, but time becomes 4T and rate of interest becomes R by 4. And similarly, you can follow the table for a biennially calculation. In the question, R is given as 20% per annum and the time period is 1 year. But as it is a half yearly calculation, from the table we know that R becomes R by 2, which comes out to be 10 and the time becomes 2T, which is equal to 2. So by taking R equals to 10 and T equals to 2, the effective percentage can be calculated as 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100 as discussed earlier. So the total interest is 21%. So therefore the compound interest will be equal to 21% of the principal, which is given as 20,000, which is equal to 4,200. So as you have seen in the given example, this is how compound interest for half yearly or quarterly calculations can be done by following up the given table. So use the table and get the answers quickly. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session of interest, let us discuss a question based on the difference between compound interest and simple interest. Let us look at the example first. Here, the difference between compound interest and simple interest at the rate of 5% per annum for a period of 2 years is rupees 25. So we need to find out the principal amount. The easiest way to solve questions based on differences is by using the shortcut formula, which is as follows. If the difference between compound interest and simple interest at the rate of R% per annum for a period of 2 years is given as D, then the principal amount can be calculated as D into 100 square by R square. So let us use this and get the answer for the given question. So by using the formula, the principal will be equal to the difference, which is given as 25 into 100 square divided by R square, which is 5. So by simplifying this, we get the principal amount as 10,000. So as you have seen, by using the shortcut formula, the calculation of principal amount becomes very easy. Similarly, when the difference between compound interest and simple interest for a period of 3 years is given, another shortcut formula can be used and the principal amount can be calculated. Let's look at the shortcut. If the difference between compound interest and simple interest at the rate of R% per annum for a period of 3 years is given as D, then the principal amount can be calculated as D into 100 cube by R square into 300 plus R. So as in the previous two questions, we can find out the principal amount when the difference between simple interest and compound interest is given for 2 years or for 3 years. So simply use the shortcut formula and get the principal amount. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss the topic of permutations and combinations. Most of the students feel that this is a difficult topic because of the confusion between permutation and combination. So we shall try to understand how to differentiate the problem based on permutation and combinations. A permutation is an arrangement of some or all of a number of different objects or persons, whereas a combination is selection of some or all of a number of objects or persons. From this table, we can understand that a permutation is an arrangement, whereas combination is only selection. That means when we go for permutations, the sequence is important. And when we go for combinations, the sequence is not important. For a question based on permutation, the formula to be used is NPR, which is n factorial by n minus r factorial. And for questions based on combinations, the formula to be used is NCR, which is nothing but NPR by r factorial. Let us take an example now to understand the difference between permutation and combination. So from this example, we can say that a combination is nothing but selection of 11 players to form a cricket team. That means only selection, not an arrangement. Whereas a permutation is arrangement of those 11 players within the team to form the batting order. That means here we need to decide which player comes first to bat, which player comes second, and so on. From this, we can very clearly differentiate that in combination, the sequence is not important, whereas when it comes to permutation, the sequence plays an important role. So friends, as you have seen, this is how we can differentiate between permutation and combination. See you in the next session with some questions based on the same topic. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. There are certain questions where approximate answers are to be calculated. So in this session, we are going to take an example of such a question where answer can be obtained by doing an approximate calculation. Let us look at the question. Find the approximate value of square root of 8400. So here, without doing the exact calculation, we need to find out the approximate square root of 8400. As we all know that square root of 8100 is equal to 90. The given number 8400 is greater than 8100. So it is obvious that its square root should be greater than 90. And if you look at the options, option number 1, option number 3 and option number 4 all are less than 90. So these options cannot be the answers. Therefore, the left out option 92 has to be the correct answer. So friends, questions where approximate answers has to be calculated can be simply solved by eliminating the wrong answers. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, let us take an example from the topic of data sufficiency. The question is, what is the area of the rectangle? Statement 1, its perimeter is 28 meters, and statement 2, length is more than the breadth. So here we are supposed to decide whether the given statements are sufficient to find the area of the rectangle or not. We all know that area of the rectangle is length into breadth. That means to find out the area, we must know the length and the breadth. From statement 1, which says perimeter is 28 meters, we can say that 2 into L plus B, which is perimeter of the rectangle, is equal to 28. But this information alone cannot give us the area of the rectangle, because this is one equation with two variables which cannot be solved. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Let us now see the statement 2. Statement 2 says length is more than the breadth. That is nothing but length greater than breadth. But this information is not useful to us, as we already know that length of the rectangle is always greater than the breadth. Therefore, even statement 2 alone cannot help us in finding out the area of the rectangle. As statement 1 and statement 2 alone are not sufficient to answer the question, now let us look at the combination of both the statements. Here, even if we combine both the statements, we have only one equation, that is 2 into L plus B equals to 28 with two variables, which cannot be solved. Therefore, even the combination of the statements cannot help us in finding out the area of the rectangle. So, our answer should be option 4. That is, both statements together are not sufficient to answer the question. So friends, as you have seen from this example, sometimes even the combination of both the statements cannot help us in getting the answer. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss the method of elimination for solving certain questions. Let us take an example. Two integers are in the ratio 3:5. If 8 is subtracted from each, the ratio becomes 1:3. What is the second integer? So here the ratio of two integers is given, that is 3:5. And if 8 is subtracted from each integer, the ratio becomes 1:3. From this information, we are supposed to find out the second integer. Let us use the method of elimination for solving this question. From the given ratio 3:5, we know that the second integer should be a multiple of 5. Now if you look at the options, option number 3 is 4, which is not a multiple of 5. So that cannot be the answer. Similarly, option 4, which is 12, is also not a multiple of 5. So even option 4 cannot be the answer. So now there are only two possibilities, that is either option 1, 15, or option 2, 20 to be the answer. If you look at second part of the question, it says if 8 is subtracted from the integer, the ratio becomes 1:3. That means after subtracting 8, the second integer should be a multiple of 3. If you look at the first option 15, when we subtract 8 from 15, we get 7, which is not a multiple of 3. Therefore, option 1 also cannot be the answer. So the only left out option is option 2, which has to be correct. If we try to verify this, after subtracting 8 from 20, we get 12, which is a multiple of 3. Therefore, both the conditions are satisfied and it is proved that option 2 is correct. So friends, as you have seen, there are certain questions where we can get the correct answer simply by eliminating the wrong options. So try to use this elimination method wherever applicable. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall take an example which can be solved by the method of elimination. Let's look at the question. The given question is 476 into 52 plus 37 into 793 plus 6192 is equal to what? So here we are supposed to find out what comes in place of the question mark. Before solving the question, if we observe the options, the units placed in each option is different. That means this question can be solved simply by finding out the units place of the answer rather than doing the complete calculation. So let us work on the units place to get the answer. If you look at the first part of the question, that is 476 into 52, the units places are 6 and 2. So when we multiply these two numbers, the units place will be 6 into 2, 12. That is nothing but 2 comes in the units place and 1 is carried forward. Similarly, when we go for the second part, that is 37 into 793, the units place multiplication is 7 into 3, 21. That is 1 comes in the units place and 2 is carried forward. And the last part here, units place is directly 2. So by adding all these units places, we can say that the final units place will be 2 plus 1 plus 2, that is 5. So by eliminating the options, we can say that option 1, 2 and 4 cannot be the answers, as the units place for these options is not equal to 5. Whereas option 3 has got 5 in the units place. Therefore, our answer here is option 3. So friends, as you have seen from the given example, if the units places in the given options are different, the correct answer can be determined simply by eliminating the wrong options. So try to use this method wherever applicable. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a very commonly asked question from the topic of mensuration in bank exams. Let us take an example. A sphere of radius 8 cm is melted and converted into small spheres of radius 2 cm each. Find the number of small spheres formed. So here a larger sphere of radius 8 cm is melted and converted into small spheres of radius 2 cm each, and we are supposed to find out the number of small spheres formed. To solve questions of this model, the following point is to be understood. Whenever a solid is converted from one form to other, as in our case a larger sphere is converted to small sphere, the total volume remains constant. That is, total initial volume should be equal to total final volume. The volume of a sphere can be calculated by the following formula, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube, where r is the radius of the sphere. Let us now solve the question based on these points. The total initial volume in our case is the volume of the large sphere, which should be equal to total final volume, that is nothing but n into volume of each small sphere. Here n is nothing but the number of small spheres formed. So by using the formula and substituting the values, we get that 4 by 3 pi 8 cube. That is nothing but volume of the larger sphere, where radius is 8, should be equal to n into volume of each small sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi 2 cube, where 2 is the radius. So 4 by 3 pi gets cancelled on both the sides, and by solving this we get n equals to 8 cube divided by 2 cube, which is equal to 64. So the number of small spheres formed will be equal to 64. So friends, as you have seen, questions related to conversion of solids can be solved very easily by simply taking the volume as constant before and after the conversion. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a very common question from the topic of mensuration. Let us take an example. A fence is to be drawn around a rectangular field of length 30 meters and breadth 20 meters. What will be the total cost if the cost of fencing is rupees 60 per meter? So here we are supposed to find out the total cost of fencing the rectangular field. As the fencing is done around the rectangular field, the perimeter of the rectangle is to be calculated, which can be taken as 2 times L plus B, where L is the length and B is the breadth of the rectangle. So the perimeter here can be calculated as 2 into 30 plus 20, where 30 is the length and 20 is the breadth, which comes out to be 100 meters. So the total length of the perimeter is 100 meters, which is to be fenced. We know that cost per meter of fencing is rupees 60. So by using these two values, we can find out the total cost as perimeter into the cost per meter, which is equal to 100 into 60, which comes out to be 6,000 rupees. So the total cost of fencing the rectangular field here is rupees 6,000. So friends, as you have seen, this is how we can solve questions related to fencing the rectangular field, where we are supposed to find out the perimeter and multiply with the cost per meter. Similar questions can also be asked for a square field or a circular field, where the method to solve the question remains the same. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, let us discuss an example from the topic of mensuration. What will be the circumference of the largest circle that can be inscribed in a rectangle of length 10 meters and breadth 7 meters? So here we are supposed to find out the circumference of the largest circle that can be put in a rectangle of length 10 and breadth 7 meters. So a rectangle of length 10 and breadth 7 meters can be taken as shown. Now there are two possible ways to inscribe a circle within the rectangle. One is along the length of the rectangle and the other is along the breadth. If we try to inscribe the circle in such a way that the diameter of the circle is equal to 10 meters, that is nothing but the length of the rectangle, we find that some portion of the circle comes out of the rectangle. So this cannot be the largest circle. But if we try to inscribe the circle such that the diameter of the circle is equal to the breadth of the rectangle, that is 7 meters, we find that the circle perfectly fits inside the rectangle. So we can say that the largest circle which can be inscribed in a rectangle should be such that the diameter of the circle is equal to the breadth of the rectangle. The circumference of the circle now can be calculated as 2 pi r or pi into d, where r is the radius of the circle and d is the diameter. As we already know that the diameter of the circle is nothing but breadth of the rectangle, which is 7 meters, we can take the circumference as pi into d. So the circumference now can be calculated as pi, which is 22 by 7 into the diameter 7. By solving this, we get that the circumference of the circle should be 22 meters. So friends, as you have seen from this example, this is how we can find out the largest circle that can be inscribed in a rectangle. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a very interesting question from the topic of mensuration. Let us look at the question. A goat is tied with a rope of length 7 meters at one of the corners of a square field of side 12 meters. What can be the maximum area grazed by the goat? So as given in the question, there is a square field of side 12 meters. A goat is tied at one of the corners with a rope of length 7 meters. Now the area that can be grazed by the goat is as shown by the dotted lines. The area grazed by the goat will be in the shape of a pie, which is nothing but 1/4 of a circle. So the required area to be calculated is 1/4 of area of the circle of radius 7 meters. The radius is taken as 7 meters because the length of the rope is 7 meters. So this can be taken as 1/4 into area of the circle, which is pi r square. Now by substituting the values, we get 1/4 into pi is 22 by 7 into r square, that is 7 square. By solving this, we get the answer as 38.5 meters square. So the area that can be grazed by the goat is 38.5 meters square. So friends, as you have seen from this example, solving these type of questions can become very easy if you try to understand the correct shape of the area to be calculated. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. As we all know that you need to be very good and very quick in doing calculations and simplifications to score more marks in a subject like Quant. So let us learn a few methods of doing multiplications very quickly without doing much of paperwork. Let us take some examples. Suppose we have to multiply the numbers 73 and 84. This multiplication can be done in 3 steps as follows. In the first step, we have to multiply the digits in the units place, that is 3 into 4, which is 12. So let us take 2 in the answer and 1 is carried over. In the second step, we have to cross multiply the digits and find out the sum. That is 7 into 4 is 28 and 3 into 8 is 24 and the sum of these two products is 52. As we already have one carried over, this becomes total 53. So let us take 3 in the answer and now 5 is carried over. And the last step is to multiply the digits in the tens place. That is 7 into 8, which is 56. And as already 5 is carried over, the total becomes 61. So the answer is 6132. Let us take another example where we have to multiply the numbers 62 and 68. Now this is a special case of multiplication where we can see that the sum of the units places, that is 2 plus 8 is 10, and both the tens digits are same. The multiplication of such partially complementary numbers can be done in just 2 steps. The first step is multiply the digits in the units place, that is 2 into 8, which is 16. And the second step is the tens place into its next digit, that is 6 into 7, which is 42. So the answer is 4216. So friends, these are some of the tricks with the help of which you can do multiplications very quickly and save a lot of time in your exam. So practice well on them. See you in the next session with some more ideas. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. Today in this session, we are going to discuss a frequently asked question from the topic of partnerships. Questions on partnerships can be easily solved using the concepts of ratio and proportions. Let us take an example. According to the question, Sam started a business by investing rupees 20,000. 6 months later, Ram joined the business by investing rupees 15,000. And at the end of 3 years, they earned a total profit of rupees 13,000. Now we need to find the Ram share in the total profit. This can be simply solved by understanding the relation between profit or loss and the investment and time. Profit or loss is always proportional to investment made and the time for which the investment is kept. Now first, to find the profit of Ram, we need to find the ratio of profit of Shyam and profit of Ram. And as you know, this should be equal to amount invested by Sam, that is 20k, multiplied with duration for which he kept the investment, that is 36 months, is to amount invested by Ram, that is 15k, into period for which he kept his money. As he joined 6 months later, it should be 30. The total profit is shared in the ratio of 8:5. That means total 13 parts is equal to 13,000 rupees. Which means Ram is getting 5 parts out of 13 parts. So 5 parts should be equal to 5 by 13 into 13,000, which should be equal to 5,000 rupees. Fine, that's it. Okay friends, now you have realized that using the ratio and proportions concept, we can solve the questions on partnerships very easily. Don't miss on these questions in the exam. See you in the next session. Thank you.
Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we will discuss a question related to percentages which can be solved by using the concept of percentage of percentage. Let us look at the concept first. X percent of Y percent of any value K can be taken as XY by 100% of K. Now let us look at a question based on the given concept. Amit decided to donate 20% of his income to a charity. But on the day of donation, he changed his mind and donated rupees 3,200, which was 80% of what he had decided earlier. Find his total salary. From the question, we know that Amit donated only 80% of what he had earlier decided, which was 20% of his income, and this is given as 3,200. Now by using the concept of percentage, we can say that 80% of 20% is nothing but 80 into 20 divided by 100% of his income, which is equal to 3,200. Upon calculation, we get 16% of Amit's income is equal to 3,200. And by simplifying this, we can say that the total income of Amit will be equal to 20,000 rupees. So as you have seen in this example, by using the concept of percentage, these type of questions can be solved very easily. So try to use it wherever applicable. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss the usage of converting percentages to fractions. Let us first see how can we convert percentages to fractions. So as seen in the table, the various percentages and their fractions have been listed out. For example, 50% is equal to 1 by 2. 33.33% equals to 1 by 3 and 25% equals to 1 by 4. So as seen here, we can always convert a percentage to a fraction and vice versa to solve various questions. Let us now look at an example. If A's salary is 25% more than that of B, then by how much percent is B's salary less than that of A? Let us see how we can use the concept discussed in solving this question. As per the given question, A is 25% more than B. Therefore, it can be taken as B plus 25% of B. Now, by converting the percentage into fraction, we get A equals to B plus B by 4, which is equal to 5B by 4. From the above equation, I can say that B is equal to 4A by 5. Now again, by converting this fraction into its equivalent percentage, I can say that B is 80% of A. Therefore, we can say B is 20% less than A, as it is only 80% of A. So as you have seen in the given question, this is how the conversion of percentages into fractions can help us solve some questions very easily. So try to use it wherever applicable. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss how a percentage change in the price of a commodity can affect the consumption of that commodity. Let us look at the question first. So the question is, the price of sugar falls by 12%. How many quintals can be bought for the same amount which was sufficient to buy 44 quintals at the original price? Expenditure on a commodity can be taken as price into quantity. Now as in the question he says the amount remains same, I can say that E1 is equal to E2. Therefore P1 Q1 equals to P2 Q2, where P1 and Q1 are the original price and quantity and P2 and Q2 are the new price and new quantity. As the amount remains same in both the cases, I can say that P1 into Q1 should be equal to P2 into Q2. By assuming that the original price is 100 rupees per kg and the original quantity is given as 44 quintals, this can be equated to, as the price falls by 12%, we can take it as 100 minus 12, that is 88, into the quantity Q2. So by solving the above equation, we get that the new quantity of sugar will be equal to 50 quintals. So as you have seen, this is how a very commonly asked question which deals with the change in price reflecting the change in quantity can be solved by using the very basic relationship between expenditure, price and quantity. So try to use the concept and get the answer in a very simple manner. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprints Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss some questions based on permutations. As we have already discussed in the last session, permutation is nothing but an arrangement of one or more out of the given number of objects. Let us take an example. How many words can be formed with the letters of the word machine?
As you can see from the question,
We are supposed to form different words by using the letters of the word machine, which is nothing but arrangement of the given letters in different positions. So this comes out to be a permutation problem. As there are 7 letters, we have 7 different places for their arrangement. Here the first place can be filled in 7 ways because we have 7 choices of letters. Into the second place can now be filled only in 6 ways. Why? Because one letter has already occupied the first place. Similarly, the third place can be filled in only 5 ways, and so on. This is nothing but 7 factorial, which is equal to 5040. So the number of words which can be formed by using the letters of the word machine are 5040. Let us now discuss another question from permutations with some condition. How many words can be formed with the letters of the word machine such that the vowels are always together. That means here the condition is we need to form words keeping in mind that the vowels are always together. The given word machine has 3 vowels A, I and E and 4 consonants M, C, H and N. As the condition says the vowels must be together, let us consider these 3 vowels to be only one single letter and the remaining letters are M, C, H, N. So altogether I can say that there are 5 letters which have to be arranged. So altogether I can say that there are 5 letters which can be arranged in 5 factorial ways, and the internal arrangement of vowels A, I, E can be done in 3 factorial ways. Upon solving we get it as 720. That means 720 words can be formed by using the letters of the word machine such that the vowels are always together. So as you have seen, this is how questions based on permutations can be solved. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a very commonly asked question in bank exams related to percentages. Let us look at the question. In an election between 2 candidates, 20% of the total votes cast are invalid. The winner gets 80% of the valid votes and wins by a majority of 2,400 votes. How many votes were totally cast? As given in the question, 20% of the votes are invalid, which means remaining 80% of the votes are valid. The winner gets 80% of the valid votes, that is 80% of 80%, which is equal to 64%. Therefore, we can say that the loser gets valid minus winner, which is equal to 80% minus 64%. Therefore, the loser gets overall 16% of the votes. Majority of the votes is nothing but the votes obtained by winner minus the votes obtained by loser, which can be taken as 64% minus 16%. Therefore, majority of the votes will be equal to 48% of the total votes, and this is given as 2,400. From this, we can say that total number of votes cast will be 5,000. So as you have seen, these type of questions can be solved very easily by simply playing with the given percentages. So try to avoid paperwork and cut short the number of steps. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we shall discuss a question based on combinations. As already discussed, combinations is nothing but only selection of different objects. where sequence is not important. Let us take an example. In how many ways can a cricket team of 7 batsmen and 4 bowlers be formed out of 9 batsmen and 5 bowlers? As you see, this question is only about selection of batsmen and bowlers, which doesn't require any arrangement. So as per the given question, there are total 9 batsmen and 5 bowlers, out of which we need to form a team of 7 batsmen and 4 bowlers. Selection of 7 batsmen out of 9 can be done in 9C7 ways, whereas selection of 4 bowlers out of 5 can be done in 5C4 ways, which is equal to 9 factorial divided by 9 minus 7, 2 factorial into 7 factorial into 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 4, which is 1 factorial into 4 factorial. Upon solving this, we get the answer as 180. So there are 180 ways in which a team of 7 batsmen and 4 bowlers can be formed out of 9 batsmen and 5 bowlers. So friends, as you have seen, this is how we can solve questions based on forming a committee or team by using the simple formula of NCR. See you in the next session. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a question based on profit and loss. Almost all the questions from profit and loss can be solved by using the idea of percentages. Let us look at the first example. The question says, an article is sold at a loss of 10%. If the selling price is increased by rupees 45, the profit made would be 5%. Find the cost price of the article. Let us see the use of percentages in solving such questions. When the loss is L%, selling price can be calculated as 100 minus L% of the cost price. Now in the given question, he says that article was sold at a loss of 10%. Therefore, the selling price is 100 minus 10, which is nothing but 90% of the cost price. And in the second case, when the profit is P%, the selling price can be calculated as 100 plus P% of the cost price. In the question he says, when the selling price was increased by 45, the profit made was 5%. Therefore, the selling price becomes 100 plus 5, which is 105% of the cost price. From the given question, we know that the difference between the two selling prices, S dash and S, is equal to 45 rupees. We know that the new price with a profit of 5% is nothing but 105%. And the old price, when there was a loss of 10%, is only 90% of the cost price, which is equal to 45. From this, I can say that 15% of the cost price is equal to 45. By simplifying this, we get that the cost price is equal to 300 rupees. So as you have seen in the given example, we can solve the questions based on profit and loss with the simple idea of using percentages. See you in the next session with another example from profit and loss. Thank you. Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss another example from profit and loss which can also be solved by using percentages. Let us look at the question first. 16 articles are sold at the cost price of 20 articles. Find the percentage profit or loss made in the transaction. So as you have seen in the question, the cost price or the selling price of the article is not mentioned. So most of the students get confused in calculating the percentage profit or the percentage loss. But this problem can actually be solved in just 2 steps by simply using the idea discussed before. Let us look at the solution. So as given in the question, 16 articles are sold at the cost price of 20 articles. So we can say that the selling price of 16 articles is equal to cost price of 20 articles. By simplifying this, we can say that 4 times SP is equal to 5 times CP. Therefore, the selling price of each article is equal to 5 times the cost price by 4. And by converting this fraction 5 by 4 into percentages, we get selling price equals to 125% of the cost price. Now, as already discussed earlier, when the selling price is 125% of the cost price, the profit will be equal to 25%. So as seen in the given example, a question where the cost price and selling price are not mentioned, the profit percentage is asked. Don't get confused and simply use percentages to get the answer. See you in the next session. Thank you.